Before I forget, I wanted to make sure I remind everybody to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't, and like and share the video. If you don't like the video, feel free to give me a thumbs down, but just do me a favor and leave me a note on why, okay? Also, if you don't mind sharing and checking out my pages on Facebook, Instagram, and whatnot too. We got content coming out all the time, and these videos are coming out every Monday now too, so check it out, okay? So, what I want to talk to you about today is change. I think that change is the topic to end all topics, okay? It's the thing that matters most, okay? Because if we're going into the gym the first time, if we're trying to conquer massive weight loss goals or weight gaining goals, or just anything else in life, then understanding change and understanding how it kind of how it interacts with your life is the most important thing to, again, gain a transformation in something in your life, okay? So what I mean by that in the gym is, for example, we have people who are trying to change. You have somebody who goes into the gym, they say, I want to get healthier, I want to get bigger biceps. The first thing you'll notice with these people is, again, they have a recognition that they want to change something in their life, okay? So those same people now, they go in there, and if they're not executing the methods, then it doesn't make much sense, right? So I would guess a better analogy would be somebody who is, let's say, trying to lose weight, and then they're having McDonald's. That doesn't make any sense, okay? My point here is that anything that you're doing in life, if you're trying to achieve a different version of yourself, or at least redirect yourself to some other way of living, if it's health or if it's, again, success in some other area, if you're trying to redirect yourself that way, then it would be to say that your current self and the current things you've done have not done that for you, okay? So if you kind of keep that in the back of your mind right now, who you are right now needs to change. What you've done so far hasn't worked, okay? Then you kind of own that, you redirect yourself and say, I'm going to do different things. I'm going to change. I'm going to make myself successful by executing the necessary methods to see that change and see that success in my life, okay? So if you want to be a power lifter, then you try to associate yourself with power lifters. You read up on it, you do some research, and you devise a plan, okay? Or you talk to somebody who can help you with that, so you can devise that plan. What you don't do is start running marathons. That doesn't make any sense, okay? Same kind of thing with dieting. If you're trying to diet, or if you're trying to just get healthier with diet, it could just be weight loss, or it could be trying to gain weight. You wouldn't do something that's counterproductive towards that. You wouldn't be like, hey, I want to lose weight, I'm going to go have a cheat day. That doesn't make any sense, okay? There's a lot of people out there in the world right now who are trying to justify a lot of this crap by saying they need cheat days, they need this, they need that. And then again, the introduction of macronutrient popularity with IIFIM crap, it was good. It started on a good note, made with good intentions. It's like John Hammond, right? Good intentions, but the problem is that a lot of people don't understand it, and then it's abused. So people are having Kit Kats instead of, like eggs and broccoli or something. So, anywho, the whole point is you're trying to own up to that, and you're trying to do everything you can so you can see that result. I've used the analogy before that you wouldn't go out clubbing if you had an exam the next morning, okay? So my point here is that if you're trying to achieve success in any area, then that it's to first say that you haven't achieved that thus far, okay? Or even just to say, hey, I want this, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes, okay? So I guess before we even go there, maybe you should think about whether or not it's for you, whether or not any of this is for you, because it might not be, and that's cool. It's always great. I think it's the greatest thing if somebody can just admit where they are and say, I'm in or I'm out, right? Because then we're not bullshitting, and we're not beating on the bush with this kind of stuff, and we're not saying to each other, oh, well, this is the reason why I did this. Oh, no, this is why I can't do this. Everybody has this thing they hold on to, right? And they don't want to admit that they've done nothing or haven't done everything it takes to achieve that success. So they come up with excuses, and that's what lends to these excuses. So if we get rid of that, then what happens is you can move forward, which is a crazy thing, because then you just start redirecting your goals, and you say, I have no excuses, I'm willing to do what it takes. And you know what? Change is hard. It sucks. I think the gym is like the best thing you can possibly correlate or use a metaphor for change, because like when you're in a set like of heavy bench or squats or deadlifts, right? There's a reason why they're called deadlifts. They're not called like happy lifts. They make you feel like death if you do them right. If you're happy at the end of it, you did it wrong, okay? Because it is like it hits your soul sometimes. It's so hard that it kills you. But that's change. It doesn't feel good, but you come out a better person. It's like when you break up with a person you have a bad relationship, and what you do is you break up with the person, and it hurts for a little while, right? But it's for the best. You don't give in and just go back with them, even though you know they're bad for you, just because. Like, you wouldn't do that, because then what happens? You know that now you're feeling like crap again. Whereas if you go through this hard time, then you start feeling really good. Same kind of thing with the gym. If you're in this set of squats and you're digging deep, and you know what, you're still standing at the top, and you have one more. And then what happens? You make that next rep, and then what happens? You get one more. You keep doing that to yourself. It gets pretty shitty. It feels like crap, but guess what? You're gonna come out a better person from that. You will come out changed. You'll change. You'll see results. I guarantee it. There's never somebody who doesn't. If anybody, any YouTube enthusiasts or people who are just really into weightlifting, look up Tom Platz. Like, anybody who hasn't, if you haven't learned from this man, then you need to learn, okay? Because this guy is just, he puts people nowadays who work out to shame. And it's retarded, okay? Nobody works out hard like that anymore. And I think that the reason why this matters to me is because this is my field of interest. But somebody else trying to, again, just change anything, if they're just doing it for general health, the same thing, it works for them too. Like, you know what, eating broccoli isn't the best. It kind of sucks, and that's fine. But if you have a weight loss goal, then stop putting fries in your mouth. Don't do that, because that doesn't make any sense, okay? So what I'm trying to get across to you guys right today, if I can try to sum it up before I ramble too much, who we are is made from the choices that we've made so far in our life, and then we can own it, right? And we say, hey, I want to change. I want to redirect my efforts so that I can be somebody else, somebody who's happier, a better version of myself. Then what we can do is we can start applying the things that are necessary in order to see that change, okay? So using the gym or the diet analogy, again, you start eating better foods. You start making healthier choices. You start working a little harder in the gym. Or if you're at your work, you start putting in longer hours, or just working harder, working smarter, all these kind of things. But you cannot see results if you're unwilling to change. I guarantee you that if you are trying to lose weight and you are justifying shit, if you are justifying any type of anything, it's no different than a smoker who's saying, this one cigarette won't hurt. Okay, any smoker who does that is still a smoker.